When it comes to booth renting versus commission, it can be tough to decide which option is best, especially depending on if you are the booth renter or the owner. So in this video, I'm going to give you 3 questions to ask yourself to help you decide which option is best for you. 3 questions for if you are the worker and 3 questions for if you are an owner. Let's get started.
You're not just a hair professional, you're a CEO.
Hey guys, it's Jen here with the Hair CEO, helping you build a premium brand focused on profits without overpaying in taxes. On this channel, I bring you videos on business and taxes tailored specifically to self-employed hair professionals and beauty business owners. So if this is your first time here, consider subscribing. Depending on whether you are the worker or the owner, you're going to ask yourself different questions to help you figure out which option is best for you. I'm going to start with the questions that I want the worker to answer. And the owners, don't fast forward to the owner's portion, because these are questions that you want to make sure you understand the answers to as well, because that's going to help you figure out how to market to fill your chairs or to hire for a commission model. So the first question that I have for the worker is, does independence excite you or scare you right now? And keyword or key phrase being right now, because you may feel different later. But when it comes to being a booth renter or renting a chair, a lot of people like to call it independent contractor. I consider it self-employed. You are a business owner, and that independence should excite you. If it scares you, then maybe you're not ready to booth rent. And the reason is because you are responsible for every single thing. You're responsible for the marketing. You're responsible for setting the prices, accepting payments, all of the promotions, paying your taxes, keeping your records. Everything falls on you because you are the business owner. You are self-employed when you rent a chair or a booth. And so you really have to answer that question. Does it excite you, that independence, or does it scare you a little bit? If it doesn't excite you, or if it scares you to the point where it's not like a healthy fear, where it's just a little bit of anxiety because you're just starting out. Now, everybody may have that, but if it literally terrifies you and you're just like, oh my gosh, a deer in headlights, and it's just like, that's not something that I want, then maybe the commission route is best for you. But if you're like, you know what, I'm ready, I'm responsible, I'm okay with doing it on my own, then yeah, maybe booth renting is a good option for you. So that's the first question you have to ask yourself. The second question that you have to ask yourself is, are you in a place financially to take on more risk? You heard the saying, the bigger the risk, the bigger reward. So I think everyone knows that as a booth renter, you have the potential, keyword potential, to make more money. Because like everyone else who's self-employed, your income depends on a lot of different factors. So if you're slow that week, then your income is going to be slow. And no matter if your income is slow or not, that booth rent is due every single week, no matter what. Also, as a booth renter, you're responsible for your own payment processor. You're responsible for your own bookkeeping. You're responsible for your own supplies. All of these things cost some money that you need to factor in, that you're going to be responsible for paying. So if you're thinking that, you know what, I'm not in a position financially to take on that much risk, then maybe a commission setup is better for you right now. Because if you go the commission route, you don't have those expenses. When I owned my hair salon, I didn't have the booth rental model, and my girls loved the fact that their paychecks were more stable because they didn't have to worry about, oh my gosh, where is my money going to come from for my personal bills? Because they knew that even if the salon was slow, they were getting paid something. Now let's go to the third and final question for the workers before we get to the owners' questions. The third question that you want to ask yourself as a worker is, are you looking for benefits like health insurance, vacation time off, things of that nature? If you are a booth renter, then you are responsible for all of your benefits. You're responsible for finding your own health insurance, not only health insurance and time off, but also retirement savings. So again, you have to, set those things up, whether it be a SEP or a 401k. And I'm not getting into that. I will record a separate video talking specifically about benefits for self-employed hair professionals and beauty business owners. But this is a question that you have to ask yourself because you would be responsible for setting all of those things up. Now, maybe you are young enough where you're still living with your parents and you're on your parents' insurance, or maybe you are married and you have a spouse that has a job where you're on their insurance and you don't have to worry about it, then great. Maybe booth renting is a better option for you. But again, these are all of the questions that you have to ask yourself to help you make the best decision. All right, now it's time to switch focus to the owners. Now, workers, do not skip out because I'm going to have a bonus question at the end that may sway you in the opposite direction if you're already leaning towards one. All right, so now for the 3 questions for the owners. The first question that I have for the owners is, are you looking to stay behind the chair and just have an additional stream of income? Or are you looking to mentor and coach others and build the brand outside of just yourself? That is a huge question that you need to ask yourself because we cannot just look at money. We have to look at what it's going to take from us. So if you are going to stay behind the chair and you just want some additional income that's going to help you pay the rent and your utilities and for the supplies that you use for yourself, and you just want to take home more money from your business, then yeah, great. Then maybe the booth rental model would work better for you because it's a lot less hands-on. And you're able to run your business, your chair, your clients without a lot of extra work. At that point, you literally are just acting as a landlord because you're working behind the chair. You have your clients. So maybe the booth rental model is better for you if that's all you want. You don't want the headache of mentoring and being a leader and things of that nature. But if you're considering a commission-based model, that comes with a lot more responsibilities. And I've seen owners struggle when they are trying to build a commission salon while also being behind the chair. Now, I am not saying that it's not possible. I'm saying that it comes with a lot more responsibilities and you just have to be ready for them. So let's talk about those. When you are leading a commission-based salon or barbershop, you have to be laser focused on building up that brand because now it's no longer just about you. And I've seen so many hair salon owners and barbershop owners just focus on the split. What's the split? What's the split? But you have so much more to be responsible for. Let me just read off what I wrote here. So you have to be laser focused on building the brand, attracting the clients, advertising the business, implementing systems and rules, incentivizing workers, managing the customer experience, recruiting new talent. Now, I'm not saying you have to do all those things on your own because you are the owner, but what I'm saying is you have to be responsible for it. So whether you have someone in those positions helping you out, or if you're doing them on your own, you can't neglect any of those areas. So that's just something that you have to keep in mind and take into consideration with whether you're going to do this while also being behind the chair, or are you in a position to step from behind the chair and do this completely just outside of being a barber or a hairstylist. I work with hair CEOs in both categories. I have some who are behind the chair and doing a commission salon or barbershop. And then I have those who are not behind the chair and they're running a commission salon. And I can tell you the ones who are not behind the chair are doing significantly better because they're not focused on also doing hair, cutting hair, coloring hair, or whatever. They're purely just focused on making sure that that commission barbershop or salon is running seamlessly. I work with hair CEOs in both categories. I'm working with a barbershop owner who runs a commission barbershop, and he's also behind the chair. Now, he's doing great, and I will say this is much easier for barbershops than it is for hair salons. And of course, because he's working with a hair CEO group, I would like to think we have something to do with the fact that he's doing so well too, but he's doing it. However, I'm also working with another hair CEO who runs a hair salon, and she's not behind the chair, and it would be super difficult for her to run that salon while also being behind the chair. Her sole focus is growing the brand. And right now her salon's bringing in about $60,000 a month. Now, again, she has the hair CEO group helping her with the finances, so she doesn't have to worry about that portion. And then she has other people focused on different areas to make sure that the brand is growing and that her stylists always have someone in their chair. So this is a question that you really have to sit down and ask yourself. The second question for owners is, do you want a hair salon or barbershop that offers a wide range of services, or do you want a brand that is more tailored to one specific solution or solving one specific problem? And the reason you need to ask yourself this question is because if you've always had the vision that your barbershop or your hair salon would be a place where any walk-in could come in and get served, then maybe the booth rental model is better for you, because then you could recruit people to booth rent that offer different services. So you could have someone you're specifically looking for that does locks, or you could have someone that only does braids, or someone who is focused on just regular cuts, or someone who's focused just on kids cuts. You could really dial into making sure that everyone who's at your location is focused on different things, and then you're able to bring that wide variety into one place. But that is leaning more towards the booth rental model. Now, if your dream was to always have a barbershop or a hair salon that was very super focused and specialized in one particular thing, then the commission route may be better for you, because at that point you can specify that, okay, this is the type of hair, or this is the type of problem that we solve at this barbershop or this hair salon. This is our specialty. The workers don't have the ability to divert and do different things. Whereas if you have the booth rental model and you set it up where everyone specializes in what you specialize in to get that specialty vibe, then you still are putting it at risk, because those people are self-employed. They can switch it up at any time they want. I mean, today they could be doing locks, and tomorrow they could say, yeah, like I'm doing color only, and short hair. So you have to be very careful about what it is that you want and ask yourself that question. The third question you want to ask yourself as the owner is, are you ready for the additional overhead cost, administrative complexity, and attention to detail? Now, for the booth rental model, your appetite for those things can be really small. There isn't a ton of additional overhead costs. There's not a lot of complexity when it comes to administrative things, but there are some. So you have to make sure that you have a system for collecting rent. You have to make sure that the basic needs are met, whether, figuring out what are the rules of your shop, when can people come in, when people have access, things of that nature. So if you're more of a hands-off person and you're just like, I don't want too much headache, then you're going to want to go the booth rental model route. But if you can handle the additional overhead costs, the administrative complexity, and the attention to detail, then yeah, you may want to go the commission route. And when you run a commission-based model, folks are super particular about their pay. They are tracking their money to the penny. And it's so funny because it doesn't matter the industry. Before I opened up the Hair CEO Group, which is my bookkeeping and tax firm, I worked for a little bit for a big box retailer in taxes. And I will tell you, they had a commission model, and I was tracking all of my clients because I was not trusting their system. I mean, I trusted their system, but if anything happened, you better believe I had my own list, who my clients were, how much they paid. Like, I was tracking everything. And the moment anything was off, you best believe I was running to whoever was in charge, like, run me my money, like something's off. So you have to be ready for that. And are you going to have someone dedicated to figuring that stuff out? Are you going to work with professionals, or are you going to be like a solo show? Because that may not be something that you want to sign up for. So, all right, those were the 3 questions for the owners. All right, time for the bonus question that I told you I was going to have the workers ask themselves after I went through the questions for the owners. And the bonus question is, if you have already decided that you want to go either booth rent or commission, and you've already started looking for places to work, are you seeing the qualities that you need in the people that you've already spoken to. Because if you don't, then that may be a sign that you don't need to necessarily work in that particular place. Maybe you still want to booth rent, or maybe you still want to do commission, but you need to maybe look for some other places based on the questions that you have now listened to and answered for yourself. All right, thanks for checking out this video. If you found this valuable and you want to see more videos like this where I simplify business and taxes, then make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.